y'all. I'm out here on Lake Decker today. Pretty cold out. It's actually in the 30s right now, which, you know, for me, I hate that. If it's below about 65, you'll hear me complaining. I really need to just move to Florida. So anyways, we got a little bit of kind of post-storm conditions. You look up, you can see those bluebird skies, but the bite's been pretty good out here lately. I was out here day before yesterday and we slammed them, so got to get back out here. So anyways, trying to put together a little video for you guys today, kind of showing you some different patterns stuff to fish, you know, in Decker. Some stuff seasonal for, you know, the winter time, but other stuff that, you know, you just find you catch fish on, you know, throughout the year. So stay tuned. Hopefully we can put together some good fish catches, a little bit of helpful info about Lake Decker. Decided to come out here Decker, mess around a little bit. I'd say it was worth it. Look at this big boy. One more quick thing I want to mention, for you guys that have a boat and fish Lake Decker regularly, something you ought to check out are my honey hole reports. Gotta have a link to that below down in the description. But my honey hole reports are a report that come out every single Thursday. I publish them at 6 o'clock, so it's always fresh, brand new information. But they're my exact spots. I put 5 spots per report. You get my exact baits, the colors I'm throwing, the patterns I'm fishing, all that information. I sell that as $14.99. My old reports, I sell those 50% off. The lakes like this, the patterns that I'm fishing, that's all in there. So if you guys are out here fishing your own boat, check out my honey hole reports. Okay, y'all, so just real quick, I want to kind of give you a rundown of what I got on deck. So right now, mid-January, real cold out. You know, water temps are in kind of the mid to upper 50s. They've been fluctuating a bit. They'll get a little warmer later in the day. Now, one thing to keep in mind when you're watching YouTube videos, stuff, learn about ways to fish, is personal preferences and strengths. For me, I love throwing moving baits, and if I can get bit throwing moving bait, that's what I'm going to prefer to do. So that's what I'm starting with. So real quick, couple things. Got a chatterbait. New one I've been kind of playing around with, but it's a L-shaped bill crankbait. I think this is a hybrid hunter from Strike King, but I like them because they'll only dive down about 3-4 feet or so, so they're good for staying over grass. Square bill, never go wrong with that. Lipless crankbait. This is a staple of grass fishing in the wintertime. We catch a lot of fish on this one. And then lastly, this is a little different, is a wacky rig. And what I use this for is whenever I throw out there and I get slammed and I miss the fish, you know, whenever I get those bites that don't hook up, throw this wacky rig back in there. It's kind of like a follow-up bait. So let's get started with these baits and see what they want to eat. Net that one. Oh yeah. Look at that big girl. Oh man. Look at that thing. So guys, basically what we're doing is we are ripping baits through the grass. I got some rattle traps tied on, some crankbaits, all kinds of reaction baits. You know, we got bluebird skies, a north wind. It's in like the 40s right now, but you can get them to react to it if you rip those things from the grass. So hopefully the video captured this, but you probably saw I went to rip the grass, bam, hammered it. Pretty good one there. That's at least a 5. covered up in grass. But that's another pretty good 4-pounder. Right there, throwing these baits over the grass. That was cool. I watched him come up out of the grass and eat that thing. So let me give you guys a little tip here. What you saw me doing there when I was sitting down is adding lead tape to my bait. And the reason for that, I've been throwing this little hybrid hunter around, but they're very, very buoyant. So as soon as you pause them, they immediately pop back up. It's buoyant enough to the point where I can watch it on my live scope coming up at the surface pretty quickly. And especially when the water is cold, you know, kind of like the concept of a jerk bait, is that when you pause the bait, you want it to suspend, you know, before it bobs right back up to the surface. Ideally, I like the bait to just slowly rise, okay? But I don't want it to bob right back up, and I definitely don't want it to sink. So one thing you can do to baits in order to achieve that is suspend strip. They're just little pieces of lead with adhesive on the back. Might be able to see it there. But all I've done is just added a little piece of lead, and depending on, you know, the bait, I'll add more, I'll add less. Another thing you can do, I'll use lead wire and I wrap it around the shank of the hooks. But just next time you're out and you have a bait that's not, you know, doing exactly what you want as far as how it suspends, just add a little bit of lead to it, see what happens. Well, that's going to wrap it up today. I'm going to head in a little bit early, that way I can go home, clean my boat. But the bite was pretty good out here, and kind of, you know, summarizing, definitely all about the reaction bite. You know, I tried throwing the wacky rig and some plastic stuff like that, and just didn't really want it. But the rattle trap, that little hybrid hunter, that crankbait, the square bill, had some hits on the chatterbait, so a little bit of everything, but mainly the trap and that hybrid hunter. And then I think I caught like 2 on the square bill. Those were kind of the key baits. And it really is all about just ripping through the grass, real aggressive, but then pausing it from time to time. Kind of see in the video I talked about, you know, the suspending bait, how you want to add a little bit of weight to it if necessary, depending on what you're throwing. But all in all, like I said, good fishing out here. So if you guys are looking for a fishing guide here in Austin, I guide Decker, I guide Lake Travis, 2 very different lakes as far as how they fish, but both with really good fishing. So I'll put some info down in the bio with my contact information, you know, my website, how to get a hold of me. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it.